All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I'm a little busy and I'm actually going to be traveling next week for work. So I'm going to be leaving California. And because of that, I actually have to make this video during live hours. All right. You know, the close of the market is really what matters to me. But roughly speaking, we have a little bit more than 20 minutes. You can see it's almost 3:40 Eastern. You'll see 12:40 on my side because, again, I'm in California, right? But look, I'm going to do what I did yesterday and kind of talk about the hot ones, right? We're going to look at AVTX, TTOO, VS, NVOS, and then TUP, all right? So really quickly, AVTX. I was honest that I got in yesterday, and even though I got in, I was not here to pretend that this thing is gonna pump and like be a fanboy. I was ready for this thing to go down. I'm sad that it went down, right? Like I want my money to go up, 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 but you know, I think it's still doing what it's doing. And yeah, unfortunately, I put my hand a little early in the cookie jar, but hey, I think it could have been worse in a lot of different ways, all right? TTOO, look, this is an ugly, devastating moment, but for me, what I hope you do find from this is a very, very important learning moment. Excuse me about that. But look, the sting of losing real money is a very important thing if you're willing to accept it honestly, all right? And that's going to kind of be the theme on TTOO, all right? VS, look, we're seeing a lot of silly trading right now, and I think VS is another example of it. We'll talk about not just that chart, but really that whole like silly trading that we're seeing. I don't know what else to call it, right? NVOS, I have only a few thoughts on it. I don't think there's going to be too many on it. And then TUP, hard to ignore TUP to say the least, all right? But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do really does help me so much, especially if you can actually share the video. I'm not really the best at doing that, but I'm telling you, just being here, letting me talk to you all, I am so grateful for everything, all right? So AVTX, let's get into it. And a few things right off the bat, all right? I rarely like to say what I buy because, again, I'm telling you, I am not a perfect trader. I'm obviously confident enough in my thoughts and opinions to post these videos and, you know, let the internet do what it wants with it, right? But yeah, yesterday, it fooled me. There's nothing else I can say right now. Look, there are a lot of people saying a lot of really good fundamental things about AVTX, all right? I'll be honest, some of the stuff that I'm seeing and reading is actually getting a little bit impressive, but end of the day, I'm not here to fall in love with 4 random letters, all right? Like, I really like not knowing what is going on here because, again, someone dropped a lot of really good info on the last video, and I mean, go back and read the comments. You don't even have to watch the video, but look, this guy looks up the executive team, knows that the executive team has had success actually selling. Like, there are fundamental things that you will read about any company, and it will start pulling these emotional strings that I'm telling you, it is so sad how more often than not the price of a stock does not reflect the realities of what you and me as like sane, rational humans would like think and expect. All right, so I'm telling you, I appreciate all the info. I'm actually really impressed by all the info. That's the exact same thing I said about ENZC. And I don't know if you guys know that stock or not, but there are a lot of passionate people on that one that sincerely believe it's going to like cure AIDS in Africa and this and that. And like, there's so many hardcore things that might be true. Same with this thing. There are some hardcore things people are saying that this company is trying to go for. And yeah, if it happens, it'll be big. But right now, all I'm seeing is the exact same thing that I've been talking about on all these videos, right? If you watch the last video, I talked about going to 14 cents today. You can see the low of the day was 14. I'll tell you, it doesn't seem like a lot, but only 1 penny is 2 pennies is a double-digit move, right? And we were up here at 16. We fell for a moment at 14, and it was a scary thing to look at. But again, it was something I was ready to watch happen. And hey, I actually didn't sell. I didn't even set a stop loss to trigger. Like I came in with a plan. Unfortunately, it went on the other side of the plan, but it wasn't so bad that I had to hit. Like, believe me, if we started a peak into the 13s, I probably would have hit eject. I literally said on the last video, hey, if it hits 14, I'll be ready. If it hits, 18, 19, I'll be happy, right? So went the wrong way, but look, it's what the stock has been doing. You get one green day, you get one red doji. One green day, one red doji. Boom, 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 right? So unfortunately, yes, we're going up, right? Like, that's clearly an uptrend. Yes, that's clearly an uptrend right there, right? Oh man, we're still struggling with this 50 moving average. All right. And yeah, we're over it. And yeah, we've actually been over it really, yeah, since this day, because this day fell under it. So over it. Like, all of these, yes, are over it. But here's the thing. We can't follow through. All right. And end of the day, a broken clock works twice a day. All right. If the thing is stuck at 4:20, it's going to be right at 4:20 a.m. and 4:20 p.m. But 23 hours and 57 minutes, it's going to be completely wrong, right? And again, I'm not calling this a broken clock. I'm not trying to be offensive. I have money in this thing, right? But yeah, I'm just seeing a stock that can't break a pattern. And look, it's a thing I've been saying, and if it's repetitive, I apologize, but I hope it's actually sinking in, all right? Roulette does not have a memory. Stocks do. And AVTX, these 4 random letters, know that it can't break away from the 50, and it knows the struggle of 2 good days in a row, just my opinion. Now look, am I expecting a green day tomorrow? Because again, green, red, like that's the pattern, right? So here's the honest truth. And again, my money's in this, and it sounds really like it's true though, okay? I always expect Friday to be a losing day. Like, Friday generally sucks. And this Friday last week actually went down a full 2 cents and actually ended 14%, right? So last Friday didn't actually do well. The Friday before that looks like a green day, and it looks like it went up, but it actually opens at 14 and drops to 12. I think more people lost money on this day than they made money. And then again, look at that Friday right there, right? This was boom, 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 minus 40. So actually, the last couple Fridays have not been our friend for AVTX, okay? That said, I'm still holding on. I still haven't exited. Now, am I going to be as forgiving of a 14 cent tomorrow? I'll tell you right now. Damn. The distance from, oh, it's a high 14. Yeah, I think I would be a lot more worried if we lost the 20 moving average, even if it happens intraday. Look, honestly, I don't have a lot of money in this one yet. My goal was to actually buy more today, but there was no reason to, obviously, right? So, I'm probably like, am I willing to let it go down to here to 13? Damn, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Man. Damn. I'm like, again, I'm not here to tell you what I'm doing with my money, but that was like an actual like momentary struggle right there. I still don't think I know the answer. I obviously still have 15 minutes. What's the last 15-minute candle look like? I mean, look, this is one of the, like, this isn't a big, like, what's the volume here? It's 100. Ideally, we pop up and close. How far are we from 16? No, we're way too far from 16. We're not going to get to 16. I don't think we'll lose 15, though. And what are you? You're at 4. See, this is where I wish we had a couple more decimals, right? What's the 1 minute look like? 1 minute's on the low side. Are you on the last line? Damn, that would suck too. But again, there's still a decent. Yeah, it looks like 15 is gonna hold. I don't see us going all the way up to 16 in the last 15 minutes, but I also don't see us dropping to 14. AVTX, listen, I know there's a lot of hype. I can't pretend I'm not seeing these tech. I was real honest too, and I kind of still say today the technicals on my like better indicators, for lack of words, like the things that have more, are still saying relatively good things, right? That's another reason why I haven't unloaded yet, but this thing is just, it needs to do a little bit more, you know what I mean? Weekly's not looking bad at all. Weekly's still negative MACD, but we are a few days over it, and these are at least better candles than we're seeing on the weekly, right? Like, I don't know how good I feel calling this a confirmation from yesterday, or sorry, from last week, but it's at least better than a doji. So hopefully Friday doesn't close kind of ugly, right? But weekly's still kind of giving me a reason to say let's go to next week, even though, like I said, we are definitely going down, right? But we are still also going up from this one. So AVTX, man, this one is so close. I have no reason to go big just yet. I can at least easily end it with that. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. You know I appreciate you so much, all right? TTOO, really quickly, if you can please subscribe, I would so much appreciate that. But look, let's get into it. And look, we still need to hear from the company. The company's going to drop their earnings in about 20 minutes, about 10 minutes, right? 12 minutes, give or take, after hours. Today was a devastating day. On yesterday's video, I actually mentioned dropping 40%. And I know it sounded like some arbitrary number. In a lot of ways it was, right? Like, I don't want to seem so cocky that like I knew 40. Like, I really didn't, right? But look, I was expecting a drastic day, even though the earnings were after hours. And that's a little bit of something I talked about on yesterday's video, right? Though the earnings is after hours, and though after hours is really when rumors start to become news, like I had expectations that there was going to be enough of a mixed bag of headlines, or maybe even something from, look, I had no idea about the reverse split news, right? Like, I'm not even trying to pretend that, but there were reasons why I maintained my trading strategy of unloading most of it on Wednesday, well before we got into today. I obviously regret leaving some of my profit in there. I did flush it down the toilet. Like, there is truth to that, right? But end of the day, I think the most important thing you can do to yourself, and look, I'm like, just, this is me being honest, and don't blame this 45% on shorts. Don't blame this loss on manipulation. Don't blame, dude, the only person to blame if you lost a good amount of money today is kind of yourself, right? And I say that with love, because I don't want you to unsubscribe, right? I'm not trying to be mean, but you need to learn from this moment and not do it again. And dude, the simplest thing you can do is avoid earnings. Like, the amount I was stressing that for roughly a week, basically from this little moment where I jumped in and started, like, I was so honest that I was going to hit eject before earnings, and I did it. And even though we had a good, nice candle on Wednesday, it didn't matter. Like, the trade plan was done, and I had to go, right? And man, the don't trade on earnings plan, put it in your back pocket and do it next time you're looking at a stock, all right? Because I'm telling you, earnings are such a 50-50, and I can't imagine, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I can't imagine any sort of news can save this, all right? Like, TTOO, I'm so sorry if you lost, but I'm really hopeful you learned an important lesson that you're never going to repeat. And in the long run, this moment is just going to be a drop in the bucket. You're going to completely forget the money you lost here, because you're going to save so much. Like, I promise you, I was back in the day never saying don't play earnings. I was loving playing earnings, and then I'd lose, but I thought the next one would do it, and then I'd lose, but then the next one would do it, and then I'd lose, but then the next one would do it and actually do well, and I'd completely forget all the ones that I lost, and then I'd go big on that next one. Hey, it lost again, right? So earnings is crazy. today is less about the chart. It's less about this 45. It's less about, I would never do like an I told you so. You also know that, right? I hope you were not expecting that when you came in here. But the real big, like the two big things is be honest with yourself. If you lost money, don't blame the imaginary ghost of manipulation or short attacks, number one. Number two, don't forget this, because I would love to bet a paycheck that you'll never do it again. All right. Earnings are scary. I consider myself a decent trader, right? I know I can't call earnings, right? So just I'm telling you, it's the easiest thing to do is avoid, right? Like the doing nothing with your money. I say it all. People are like, I eat the fear, I buy in the fear, they try to act all cool and this, dude, no. All right, like learn from moments and learn when the moment is too big for what you know and just follow through after. Again, my plan was to buy if this thing went up or avoid if this thing went down. Your boy over here is avoiding his thing going down, right? So TTOO, let's see what happens after the earnings in a couple minutes. Let's see what happens on Friday's follow through. And then, man, come next week, could be interesting, right? So let me know your thoughts and opinions. I don't even think I need to look at the weekly. I don't have that much time, so I'm going to try to fly through the last couple, all right? I want to talk about versus today. And look, versus obviously at some point was all the way up here. Versus at the minimum opened at 44 cents and is now currently dropped to 30, all right? It's funny because on yesterday's videos, when we were talking about the 3000 winner, the 200x winner, right? Like those actually opened down here and closed up here, and you could have wrote in. One thing that I said was that rarely happens. Most of the time they open here, they'll maybe wick or something, but at the minimum they'll like open here and then drop to down here. And most people got in at 44 and are watching it go down and are actually down, what, 25%, right? Because you've lost the dime. So there is some crazy things happening in the market right now. Do I sincerely believe I know it and I can understand it? I can write, dude, I don't. What I do know is I'm not here to change my trading strategy. I'm not here to like reinvent the wheel. I'm doing my best because you know it. I'm a crackhead gambler and it's hard for me to ignore things, right? But I'm doing my best to ignore things. And it's hard. Dude, this thing was pushing 100, 200, whatever percent, right? Like we're now sitting down here and it's like, just be careful, all right? And you know, I'm kind of looking at my phone right now to see if there's like another like hard runner I want to like flash really quick, but like, dude, it's crazy, right? Like SECO was the other one. Let me just, I guess, flash SECO real quick here. SECO, same thing. And this is, again, what I said yesterday. Most of the time, these open up here at 218. You can see it at the box and come all the way down and close down here at 98 cents. I see the 200% gain, but no. What I see is someone buying at 2 and losing 50% down here at 1. That's just the truth of it. You know what I mean? So SECO and versus, listen, the point of this section of the video, and I'm like running out of time and I feel bad and I'm so sorry, but like don't gamble if you want to gamble. You know I'm not here to tell you what to do, right? But don't reinvent a wheel that's rolling better than most people's carts. And when you change things because of like 2 days of crazy, that's when things can get dangerous, all right? You know it. There were a couple people in the Discord that crushed it. I was happy for them. I was proud of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't say that jokingly. Like, I legit loved it for them, and I'm saying it with a big smile. I hope you can like hear it in my tone, right? But dude, for me, no. Not my money, I'll tell you that, right? So I got 4 minutes left. Look, I want to talk about NVOS. NVOS has an interesting doji under the 2 moving averages. I'm kind of imagining tomorrow's the day that we're coming down to 27. I do, because you know I always say the day after the doji is generally very telling, especially if the doji is on or near a very important line. It's actually right now under the 2 lines that I care about a lot, the 8 and the 20, and the 2 lines excuse me, that we magically jumped over, right? The biggest thing I want to say about NVOS, because I couldn't get the words out very well yesterday, were, dude, NVOS's ability to hold volume is now becoming insignificant at like, this was a volume king. All right. This was a volume king, volume king, volume. It hasn't been since middle of, like, we're pushing a month since it hasn't done it. And you can see it a little easier on the weekly. Like, it's been about 4 weeks of just, it's not, it was up here. Now we're trying to get here, and really we're kind of like, this is not the volume king that it was. And today, a day where TTOO dropped so much, still has a lot of volume. Obviously it's a sell-off kind of volume, but like, NVOS needed to steal that volume and run today, and it couldn't. And I think that re-emphasizes what I was saying yesterday. Something is wrong here with the volume. All right, so I don't know what it is. I got no explanation for it. I'm seeing a doji under the 8 and the 20, under the two lines that we just broke, under the, like, I thought we were going to go down on this doji. I'm still assuming we're going to go down on this doji. Hey, we might go up again. I might be wrong. I have not had good luck with NVOS, but yeah, things are not looking good. And man, this is the worst part. That's a bad divergence. We want a good divergence where green goes up, not green goes down. Divergence just means the two lines are going away. They just happen to be going the wrong way, right? So still positive, not too far from the negative line though. Just remember that. So 23, yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe 24. But yeah, hopefully we don't lose the 50. If we lose the 50, we're coming down to the 100. Dude, I got a minute left. I got to go to a meeting. Hey, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you.